Now, what about
Yeah.
what about college baseball? Because I was talking to my friend the other day. College basketball huge, college football massive, college baseball people forget about it. Like that, people just like, oh yeah, it's college baseball. Now, why is something like that? Is it because MLB you can still go directly? You can be drafted out of high school. You don't need to do a year of college. Like, why isn't college baseball bigger and more important?
I think it's pretty good. I think, like, they've got the World Series and you've got guys, so they have to stay 3 years before they can get drafted. Right? They can't unless you're in a junior college.
If they go, if they go to college and decide to go to college, they have to stay there for 3 years. Unlike football, they can do one and go.
Right.
Okay.
You got to stay for 3 years. So no, there's a lot of pitchers who come out and they're ready. They're ready. Like, what's his name for the Yankees? He came out of Nebraska, and he went right to the big leagues. He went to maybe AAA or AA for a minute. But the same season, like he graduated in May or finished in May, and he was up in the big leagues by the end of the summer. You know what I'm talking about? The Flies or those Nats.
Oh, Jabba Chamberlain.
Jabba Chamberlain. So there's guys like that. There's other guys who came out. David Price. He a lot of pitchers, a lot more pitchers make it, I'd say, than hitters. But no, college is pretty good. And then the other thing is guys come out, even the hitters, they come out polished, right? So they're more polished. And then they go right into maybe like AA or high A or something like that. Mm-hmm. Don't have to develop them as much. So I think college is pretty good.
So if
some guys, it's very hard to make a lot. You could get drafted out of high school, right? Mm-hmm. There's so many rounds, 30 rounds. But the thing is, you might not make any money, right? Unless you get drafted in the first or second round.
Right.
So if they're not going to be a first or second round pick, it's like, I'll go to college for 3 years and develop there and get an education, get it paid for, and then I'll get drafted. And they'll get drafted higher if they develop.
So if you're fresh out of high school, right? Like say it's your son, right? He's like a great shortstop, and he's projected to be like one of the top 20 baseball players out of high school in the country. Would you advise him to go to the draft, to go to the minors, or do 3 years of college? Take education, payment out of it. Just in fact of my goal is to be a baseball player. Education as a backup plan has nothing to do with it.
If you're going to be the first round, you're going to get the money. I would say go for it.
Okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, some guys don't want to go become pro right away. They want to go to college. Yeah. But most guys
especially athletes want to go have some fun, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. But a lot of guys that are first round picks, you're risking like losing that money. Like, what if you get hurt? And then you're never going to see that money again.
Yeah.
Right. Like your career ends. So most cases, like I know this year they had Paul Crawford's son here in Las Vegas. He got drafted out of Bishop Gorman High School, which is like a stud high school for football, basketball, and baseball. Blue chips come out of there all the time. He went with the Phillies in the first round. I forgot what pick he was, top 10, and he got paid. I forgot, probably $8 million or something like that. But yeah, most guys will come, like if they're going to be projected to be top first round pick, they usually will take it and be drafted.